Hello there, Joe Hennessy. Name of the channel is The Children. On YouTube, it's Joseph Hennessy 1161. I am a starseed, a light worker, a wanderer, a rainbow warrior, an empath, a sensitive spiritual being having human experiences on Earth, Mother Gaia, Mu. She's been called 7 different names, depending on which incarnation of life was happening at that particular time, because this planet's been here for a long time, people. So I'm looking for like-minded souls that are tired of the matrix, which is crumbling because we are ascending to a 5th dimension. We're evolving, getting rid of our old carbon-based insides and doing the butterfly thing and turning into crystalline in the cocoon. So, but we're doing it as we're awake, doing our thing. God usually gets rid of the planet or the people, or most of them, when we get to this point, but he's not doing it this time. We're just going to fix this planet. There's going to be no more duality. There's just going to be love and light, the way we're supposed to be anyway, but we don't seem to be able to get it right. So he's just going to fix it, and we're going to live in a high frequency. Low frequency is not going to exist anymore. Everything will be love and light. No more war, no more poverty, no more sickness, anger, strife, frustration. All the negativity is going bye-bye. You won't work. If you work, you'll do something that you love and enjoy to do that'll help humanity, not just make somebody at a corporation a lot of money, because 1% of the population owns 90% of the wealth. So that might be a wee bit of a problem in my eyes. So that's going to be fixed. We'll redistribute the wealth amongst the meek, because the meek are going to get back what's ours, which is this beautiful planet. So today is St. Patrick's Day. I haven't had a drink on St. Patrick's Day in over 30 years. And I don't miss anything about alcohol except for a pint of Guinness. I don't miss the hangovers, the thousands of dollars that I spent on alcohol and the drugs. And I actually liked all the drugs more than I liked the alcohol, so kind of a double-edged sword. But I'm glad I don't do that anymore. I'm looking forward to maybe having some potatoes and cabbage later today, because I don't eat meat anymore, so we won't be participating in the corned beef. But other than it being St. Patrick's Day, it is March 17th, and in 2020, my life changed forever. That's the day that they started the Plandemic, Plandemic, Plandemic. They planned it, test run. They talked about COVID-19 for 30, 40 years before it was ever brought out. It's all part of the plan. We live in a movie. Everything's pre-scripted. How can the Simpsons predict the future 20-odd times? They don't. They write the script in Hollywood. It's just that simple. Cast spells through movies because we learn how to spell, and then what do they call people in a movie? They call them a cast, so they cast spells through the tell-a-vision. And people laugh when you tell them these things, but it's just so obvious. And the first thing we are taught to do when anybody says anything that makes you think outside the box, you just start laughing. And I'm okay with that. I don't care who laughs, because I know the truth and I know what's coming. But I will never forget what they did to us on that day. They sent us home. They locked us down for 2 years over the flu, because they wanted to get everybody to stand in line to take a medical experiment. You took a medical experiment. Somebody told me, or I saw a video yesterday, they were saying if you're on a booster that they injected you with 8 strands of HIV. And you'll say, well, why did they do that? Well, why is everybody dying from heart attacks and strokes and turbo cancer? And there's all these diseases that are happening that weren't happening before. It's star athletes dropping dead all over the world, kids being sick. Plus, the kids in this country are sick anyway. 50% of them have chronic illness. Really? That didn't exist when I was a kid. And over I say this, 1 in 19 gets autism. It was 1 in 19,000 when I was a kid. And the only thing that's changed is what? The schedule, vaccine schedule. Then RFK Jr. tries to get rid of some of the vaccines, and Big Pharma is fighting against them. Why? Make them available. And if people want to poison their kids after they've done the research, well, then that's up to them. But it should be a choice people should be able to make, not somebody telling you that you have to do something. They say the only way you catch polio is to be vaccinated. Really? If you get a flu shot, you're 30% more likely to catch the flu. And I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? I'm the person people were hoping would die during the pandemic because I wouldn't take a experimental gene therapy. If I got sick, they didn't want me going to the hospital, which I don't want to go to a hospital anyway. And I don't think I would ever go to a hospital again unless I break a bone or I have to have a stitch put in. But I'm not going in there. If someone tells me I have cancer or I have some disease, I'm getting on the internet and I'm going to find all the natural remedies there are out there to heal myself. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fast, especially if I get cancer. I'm going to fast for 40 days. And that's not an issue because we're made to be able to do that. We overeat. Fasting is the best way, they say, for us to heal our body. It's able to use all its energy to deal with what's going on the inside instead of digesting food 24 hours a day. That's why you feel good after you sleep, because that's the only time most people fast, because they're sleeping. What are you doing all day long? You're snacking and you're eating, and all you're doing is asking your body to keep on working. So it's very important to fast. So I have no trust in the American Medical Association, and I definitely don't now. If you do your own research, you start looking at the VAERS report, Vaccine Accident Emergency Reporting Services, it'll list all the injuries that have happened in the last 6 years. And now they're saying that people are being taken off the list who had COVID-19 and were injured by the vaccine. Their name is magically disappearing off of the VAERS list. And I'm not making this up. But they're still pushing those vaccines. But I'm going to keep fighting. People use the word cynicism, or I use the word cynicism because too many people say, Joe, well, nothing ever gets done to any of these people. Well, this is the time. This is the change. This is the time and change we've been waiting for. The indictments are going to start rolling out. They allegedly have 500,000 sealed indictments ready to roll out for the deep state. It's just not doctors and the Medical Association and Big Pharma that were complicit in what they did to us the last 6 years. It's the 1%ers, the Illuminati, the deep state, whatever you want to call them. The access to power, the real power brokers on this planet, who you don't see because they're behind the scenes. All the world leaders are just puppets. They just do what they're told, except for the one guy that they hate. The Zionists are not a good group of people. They're the ones who are the ones who look like they're in control in the Matrix, but there's even bigger powers behind them. The 13 families. And everybody's heard of the Rothschilds. They have all our money. They own the central bank. $575 trillion of your money. I've said this a million times. Taxes, they're all illegal for the Constitution of the United States of America. It's all a slave system. So I'm on a little bit of a rant, but This is all the stuff that they've done to us the last 6 years. They imported all the illegal aliens, 20 million of them. They rape and murder American women every year. And you got all the white retard liberals worried about illegal aliens and 2 white people who got shot trying to protect them. The government, even the Republicans, does not work for the American people. All those Republicans are all warmongers, perpetual wars. That's why they all hate Trump. He's tearing their system down. Oh, he started a world war. What world war? They're bombing the shit out of Iran. Iran is bombing the shit out of Israel. It's all part of the master plan. Trump always said Israel would be last. When he went around on his tour in 2017, and he said, we have the paperwork, and he got them all to capitulate. People have no clue what's going on behind the scenes with the president. He's playing 5D chess. He's dealing with Satan. If he tells us or tells everybody what he's doing, then Satan's going to be able to counteract what he's doing. But if he tells them he's over here and he's doing this over there, well, guess what? They never know what the man's doing. That's why the fake news hates him so much, because he says things that just irritates the shit out of everybody. But he does it on purpose. He gets people to come to the bargaining tables, gets them to talk. He does what he says he's going to do. I know MAGA thinks he's gone against them because he said no more wars. Well, when this is over and he sees, or everybody sees what he was doing, they're going to be happy. It's all part of the process of giving the world back to the people. That's what he was doing in Venezuela, Iran, Greenland, or is that Iceland? Well, whatever that one is out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. They're all just spiritual holy grounds that are needed for our ascension to the 5th dimension. Ancient technology has been buried because they don't want us to know what is available to us. Because if we were to find out who we truly are, it would wreck the whole narrative of the Matrix. But the narrative is being ruined. If you can't see it by now, they're trying to make it so obvious to everybody. You saw Jim Carrey on the internet last week, and that was not Jim Carrey. It was a clone, or it was a guy with a mask on. Joe Biden, you look at photos or videos of Joe Biden 10 years ago, that's not the same guy. Look at the facial features and even the voice. It's not him. But 2020, March 17th, I will never forget. Somebody told me yesterday I've made over 14,000 posts on Facebook the last 5 years. And 85% of them are about what they've done to us, what they did to the kids, what they did to Mother Gaia. They've been on a mission to destroy it and to destroy us and get rid of us. But their biggest mistake was the Plandemic. It woke up millions and millions of light workers. And if you're listening to anything I'm saying and you're resonating, then you're a starseed or a light worker. You signed up for this mission to come here to save Mother Gaia, to put her back to her original beauty, for us to live the way God intended us to live. We were infiltrated a long time ago and brainwashed and poisoned, amongst other things. But we're going to win. Everybody just stay positive. Think outside the box. Do your own research. I always say I'm not worried about it. Anybody believes what I say, because if you do your own research, you'll figure out your own truth. Use your intuition, your discernment. Use your gut. Stop relying on outside sources for your information. Your gut never lies to you. And for the last 4 years, it's been my best friend, my best advocate, my inner knowing. But anyway, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to have some potatoes and cabbage later today. see some Irish friends, dream about having a pint of Guinness, which I won't have, because if I do, it'll be next week, and I'll wonder how I got to next week. And it won't be good. So everybody, get out, ground, send love and light to everybody. Just remember, we're fighting a spiritual war, a spiritual battle, and we're winning, and we're 80% of the way there. I know it's hard to see what's going on the planet, but this is all part of the Great Awakening, the Great Reset. And I'm not talking about the deep state's reset, I'm talking about God's reset, to where we love each other, take care of each other, and everything is available, because it is. The 1%ers are done hiding everything from us and stealing. That's all they do. We are slaves on a slave planet. But anyway, everybody have a blessed, beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here in Northern California, by the way. It's 85 degrees, they say, later today. But it's been gorgeous the last few days. So it won't last, but I'm humble and I'm grateful to be a star seed and be able to plant seeds. What's coming is going to be miraculous for the children. And plus, all the children nowadays are being born with a DNA where they don't even have none of the negativity in them, and they never will. They're so lucky. But I'm glad that we're here and we're changing this planet for the better. Everybody have a great day. Namaste.